All right. So that was that. I mean, I gave my take on Jerry Sullivan, longtime sports writer for the Buffalo News, sports columnist for the Buffalo News. And as I said from the top, I mean, Jerry has had a long career, a career that I would only dream of having. So I want to throw that out there. Compliment to Jerry, saying that he's had a long career. He's stayed somewhat relevant. Albeit I don't like the direction that he's taken, that he's kind of cornered himself into, of being this negative Nancy, Debbie Downer type sports writer. But, I had to address the elephant in the room. Not many people are willing to do that in this subject matter. I was. So that's that. So I've had some people out there that listen to the show that know that the voice of the Thomas Take, yours truly, Ryan Thomas, is a massive, massive Boston Red Sox fan. Reason for that being my grandfather was a baseball coach back in the day, and he was a massive Red Sox fan. He got me into baseball, obviously, as did my dad. Both of them were my coaches growing up, and my grandpa was a big Red Sox fan. My dad has always been a massive baseball fan. So, that was the team that I was just basically handed down from my grandfather. So I was never going to be a Yankees fan because of that. And that's what's led me on this path of being a Red Sox fan. For those of you that say, well, you're from New York and you're a Boston Red Sox fan. Yep. As are many, many other people, as are many Boston natives, Yankees fans. It's what makes sports so great. You can choose whichever team you want to root for growing up, and that's what I did. I mean, right around the age of, 4 or 5, I had plenty of Boston Red Sox hats, and now that I'm, older, I still have lots of Red Sox hats. Actually, the last hat that I purchased at the local Lids is a Boston Red Sox hat. So it's really it's been my favorite team in baseball ever since I was a little kid, and it always will be. But there's a lot of listeners of the show that are fans of the other team, those of which we don't speak of: Voldemort, the Evil Empire, the New York Yankees. So there's a lot of people out there that are knowing that I threw a lot of shade at the New York Yankees, as I should, from time to time. When they're going to struggle, I'm going to hop on them and make fun of them. When they're going to do good, there's not a whole lot to say other than they're doing pretty damn good right now. They had a comeback effort today against, I can't remember who they played against, Cleveland. And Torres, Gleyber Torres, who is a phenom, won them the game. And make no mistake about it, you'll never see, ever, you can go back into the history of the show, previous episodes, you'll never see me say that the Yankees are a bad team. I've never said it. Not one time. I've never said the Yankees are a bad team, that they have bad players, that they suck. I've said, and I will say it repeatedly, whether they're winning now or losing now, that Aaron Boone, I believe, will at some point possibly get in their way and not let the team play to its fullest potential, or handicap the team, or restrict the team from playing to its fullest potential, at its fullest potential. That if Aaron Boone was smarter than what I think he is, he would take a step back, let the players play, and not really manage the team. Almost like that scene in 42 where Branch Rickey, played by Harrison Ford, is looking for a manager. And the guy that's managing the team says, I told my wife I wasn't going to manage. I told my wife I would never put on another uniform. And Branch Rickey says, well, don't put on another uniform. What if you wear a jacket or a suit? And then he wears like this Dodgers jacket with a suit underneath it. That's Aaron Boone to me, or that should be Aaron Boone. He should have no impact whatsoever on the New York Yankees. He should literally just stand there with his Yankees jacket on, with his big league chew, and frankly, just keep his mouth shut. because this is not his team. This is the players' team. And when this team is winning and this team is doing well, I think Yankees fans would agree with me on this, that they're doing well because their players have unity. They are a collective unit that when they're on, when they believe in themselves, they play very, very well. Albeit that each player in their own way has a spectacular talent, they have very well-versed players. And you're listening to me saying this, and you're saying, wow, a Boston Red Sox fan is complimenting the New York Yankees. Yes, okay, for sure. Do I hope that they lose every single game? Of course. But is that reality? No. Is that reality, knowing that they have who they have? Not even just the obvious of Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, and Giancarlo Stanton. I think the outlier guys have really shown up. The Didi Gregoriuses, the Gleyber Torres guys, Germán, the pitcher that they just called up recently. Those are the players that are going to put the Yankees over the top if they continue to play well and if they do not let Aaron Boone get in the way. There was a manager by the name of Grady Little that was a Boston Red Sox manager. It's well known that in 2003 they're in the ALCS and Pedro Martinez is pitching really well. They pulled Pedro or left Pedro. I can't remember which one, to be quite honest. My memory is a little fuzzy, but they pulled him basically and put in Tim Wakefield, who was a knuckleball pitcher, and that oddly enough led to Aaron Boone's most notorious moment. Had Grady Little kind of just left things the way they were, Pedro, was doing well, but they replaced him with a knuckleballer in an October playoff game. It just wasn't a good decision. When Grady Little stuck his nose in the team, it backfired. When Terry Francona came on, he allowed the players to play, allowed the personalities to be shown and be heard, and they started winning. Now, that's a Red Sox reference. I could show you many other references of coaches letting players play and it working to their advantage. Even guys like Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich in basketball, although they're guys with the dry erase board in the corner of the court, drawing up the plays, they know that the players are going to play their game, and that was what happened with those teams, whether it was the Bulls or the Lakers or the Spurs. Those coaches let those players play to their strengths. And that's what Aaron Boone needs to do. Now, with baseball, it's very tough because Aaron Boone obviously has to make managerial decisions throughout a game, who he's going to put in the bullpen, who he's going to substitute. You have to be a manager, and I'm expecting Aaron Boone to manage, but when he puts in the lineup card, he can't tinker with it. He can't, mess it up to the point where, these guys are wondering what the hell is going on. And I think that did happen a little bit to start the season, and that's why the Yankees had the struggles that they did, among many other reasons. But I do think Aaron Boone kind of stuck his nose into things, and the players were just like, hey, just let us play. We have Aaron Judge, we have Sanchez, we have Stanton, we have Severino, who, got off to a bad start, but is turned things around. It's a long season. And I definitely thought that, the Yankees would make the playoffs this year. I think the Red Sox will make the playoffs as well. I do not think the Yankees will win the AL East, but I do think that that they will make the playoffs. And they're a very good team. They've built up their minor league system to the point where they have a really healthy stable of players on their roster. And they're going to be great competition for the Boston Red Sox. So if you want me to talk about the Yankees, there we go. There you go. Do I think that some of their players were a little, shall I say, they awkwardly got some of these players? And in particular, Giancarlo Stanton. And I'm sorry. But no Yankees fan could tell me that wasn't a deal done by Dr. Strange. That was a little weird. That was a strange one. The Marlins trade Stanton to the Yankees, and the Yankees practically just buy Stanton in exchange for Starlin Castro and two prospects that nobody knew who they were. So that irked me, and that's the stuff that, the Yankees can do that stuff. And if you're a Yankees fan, you love it because you know that the Yankees are the number one destination in the league. Players want to play for the New York Yankees because the Yankees are always trying to win a championship. It's the reason Johnny Damon went there. It's the reason Wade Boggs went there. It's the reason why many, many other players in baseball history have went there to try and win a World Series. And they have that allure over every other team. It's just the reality of it. They're the most high-profile team in sport. So in the world of sports, especially in sports, whatever you want to call it. So all that being said, are they a good team? Yes. Do I think that they have a lot of weaknesses that will probably be shown by some of the better teams in the AL, including the Red Sox? I do. When the Red Sox played the Yankees early in the season, it wasn't even a challenge, it seemed, for the Boston Red Sox. And I do think the Yankees got off to a slow start, but I can't just chalk that up as a slow start. They look terrible. And at some point right now, they're looking very, very good. But at some point, they might be one of these teams that is hot or cold rather than just a steady train like the Red Sox. I don't see the Red Sox being cold or losing 8 of 10 or losing a lot of games in a row. I think that their lineup is stacked. Their rotation has been very, very great. It's been the rotation that they expected to have on paper even before they got Chris Sale. Now that they have Chris Sale in year 2, it definitely has made a huge difference. Price has pitched really well. Porcello has pitched really well. Pomeranz has pitched really well. Hector Velasquez had a bad start, his last start, but he's pitched pretty well. Everything has gone pretty well for the Red Sox. And Mookie Betts is the best player in baseball right now, in my personal opinion. So, Yankees fans want me to talk about the Yankees, and I'll give you the credit that they deserve. They're one of the best teams in the American League. I put a poll together on my Twitter that said which team is going to win the American League. It was the Astros, Red Sox, Yankees, and Indians. I put the Yankees in that discussion. If I thought that they were that bad, legitimately, I wouldn't have even put them in that discussion. So, they're still second in the AL East, albeit by a slim margin, but the Red Sox are still number 1 as of now. So we got a lot of games left. We're only in May, early May. I expect the Red Sox to maybe make a trade at the trade deadline to boost their stock, and I expect the Yankees to do the same. That's what makes baseball so great. That's what makes this rivalry the best damn rivalry in sports, period. I'm Ryan Thomas. You wanted me to talk about the Yankees? You got it.